All right, we're going to figure out what kind of train wreck this is going to be. Butter. Anyways, welcome to your second dose of Warhammer for the week. Here on Warhammer's D&D session.
Drinking debate.
That makes it legally different.
Off and on camera, dude.
So what we're going to do is we've decided that we're going to discuss, debate, argue about a topic that we're not going to know about that our one and only Googles is going to give us. And where he's going to give us a topic and a time limit. And we're going to see what we have to say about that and go from there. So Googles, what is it this week?
All right. Now, last week I gave y'all 20 minutes to talk about Lucius the Eternal.
Mm-hmm.
This week, we're going to run it back with 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
However, we're going to go with a different fight. What we're going to do now is it's going to be the classic matchup of Dorn versus Peter Turbo. However, they are down to their skivvies at the fight pits on a battle barge. Who wins the fist fight?
Is this mud wrestling?
Sort of.
Sarah J. Maas needs to write this book.
I think you two are actually going to have a problem with this because I don't know how much you know about either one of these
know.
Primarchs.
I've never.
I know that Dorn lost a hand or something.
You're not wrong.
Lost his fist of audacity.
It's a horrible butter accident.
Butterfist.
Butter.
Butterfist.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Fuck about shit.
So Rogel Dorn is
Imperial Fisters.
He's the daddy of the Fisters, and he's also got a fistful of daddies. He's a weird guy. And then
You know you're doing well if you got a fistful of daddies.
and then you've got Perturabo.
Peter Turbo.
Otherwise known as Peter Turbo, but Perturabo is he's the Legion daddy of the Iron Warriors. What's actually interesting about this matchup is that Rogel Dorn and the Imperial Fist pride themselves on the ability to build a fortress that cannot be penetrated.
Mm-hmm.
The Iron Warriors specialize in figuring out how to tear down fortresses.
Mm-hmm.
So they are, at the same time, they're also really good at building fortresses that can't be broken into. They are kind of the same fucking Legion.
Is that where all the
Except for
Imperial
one has a-
prisons are built by?
No.
Or the one Imperial prison is built by?
No.
The one that's like impenetrable to get into?
That's the Torons. Tortugas.
The Minotaurs?
Minotaurs. Those guys.
Tortuga.
They build prisons and question people. They're big on it. I have questions. Show me your papers.
Show me your papers.
Anyways, so it's kind of an interesting thing. The two legions are kind of a mirror of each other. But we're not talking about the legions fighting each other. We are talking about the two legion daddies going at it. Now, if these two are going to go, are these 40K Dorn and Peter Turbo, or just Peter Turbo and Dorn in general? Pre-heresy.
Peak.
During Heresy.
Peak heresy. I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to debate me on this because I am probably out of the three people in this conversation, I probably have the most information about the heresy.
No idea what you're talking about.
Cool. Well, then feel free to ask questions, and I will do the best I can to answer, so it's not just me talking for the next 7 minutes, because it's going to be a real short debate if that's how we're going to do this. Okay. I think it goes to Peter Turbo. I think Perturabo wins in a fight.
His name's Turbo, so...
Well, it's not just that, but Perturabo... No, this actually has to come from the... Turbo Fist.
Turbo butter.
Come here, butter boy. I got a Turbo Fist for you.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Debate's over.
Tequila.
No, the reason being is there are actually stories and scenes and stuff going on of Perturabo going up against essentially Dorn, but in one of the books they quite literally are playing 40K like in the fucking book.
Oh shit.
So it's actually in the inner sanctum of the Iron Warriors, and they have big tables.
They're playing like warfare strategy
They're
things.
what they're doing is they're replaying like pivotal.
They're playing bolt action.
Sort of like it's kind of historical. So these lieutenants and captains and stuff of the Legion are all at these tables, and they take on the general's role of these big battles that happened, and see like what decisions they make would change the tide of the battle. Like, how do we make the side that lost win? You know, the stuff as a strategic study.
Doesn't the Astra Militarum or the Cadians do that too? They also play a strategy war game.
That you need to read more of those books because the Astra Militarum just fucks with each other.
Oh,
They will do things like, hey, see that big field of rocks?
it's butter.
Start bringing me rocks dipped in butter. And start bringing me rocks, but the rock either needs to be larger than the rock at the start of this line or smaller than the rock at the end of this line. And if it's wrong, they take the rock and just throw it back into the field of rocks and keep sending the privates out there to keep bringing the rocks back. Like, it's fucked up.
That's pretty good.
Anyways, but in that, one of them is there actually, this is kind of pre the Iron Warriors really like siding. There's kind of us doing their thing, and they've said like, we don't really like what Horus is doing, but we don't really like what the Emperor's doing either, so we're just going to kind of do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the missions that's been programmed for them to do is if they were on Terra, could they get into the Imperial Palace? Like, could they break the Imperial Palace open and get into it? And it's being defended by Dorne. So,
They got their train all set up.
and yeah, kind of. They set this whole thing, and every single time that Peter Turbo is the general, regardless of the side, whether he's trying to get in or he's defending it, he wins every time. So what he doesn't get a lot of credit for is that his level of knowledge of finding that one little weakness that gets it done, he's kind of unbeatable.
Yeah.
And because Dorne is so proud of his ability to make an impenetrable bastion, Perturabo has spent the time to study Dorne's decision making
Yeah. So it's kind of
to
like
learn how to take it apart.
yeah. So
and
you don't have
so-
to worry about as much of like destroying it as you do just deconstructing it.
But now we're talking about a fist fight, just in a pit. He said, down to their skivvies. They're just throwing hands. We're going to see who wins it.
Slap
The
fight?
problem is Dorne will start fighting with passion, and Perturabo doesn't.
yeah.
Like, Perturabo, when he goes into a fight, it is strictly by the numbers, logic, decision making.
I can see that.
And Perturabo is famous for he will fight, absolutely, but he will not get into a fight unless he knows exactly how he's going to win.
Well,
Like, he will put off a fight and put off a fight and put off a fight until he knows,
Yeah.
I've got this. So, anyways.
I was gonna say there could be an argument that Dorne could win because he fights with passion. Passion increases your fight or flight response and your adrenaline. So in terms of like just brute strength overpowering, not necessarily your strategy, because you're so focused on your strategy in your fight, you're probably gonna falter. Versus just brute strength and passion might overtake him.
Yeah. I mean, I see what you're saying. Just the
Yeah, like
the belief that I will not lose could actually be
well, no, I mean
an
like
advantage.
no, just
Nah,
you said he's so passionate. So like literal like rage and like adrenaline is gonna push a person
Yes.
further than just if I step here and then I have this arm up, then I'm gonna block this. Like you're gonna get in your head too much.
Yeah, a person, yes.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Primarchs.
Okay.
And my argument is that in the Primarch situation where you are dealing with superhumans,
Mm-hmm.
that passion makes it to where you get too involved, and Dorne would very much take this as a like, brother, how could you do this? And Perturabo is just going to go like, dude, you are just another castle I need to knock over. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Based on how you describe it, that's about how. I
yeah.
was
For
thinking
him,
of
it's
it.
not going to be this whole like brother on brother fight. It is just going to be, and to be honest with you, Perturabo has a little bit of the whole like, I'm only called when you need it broken. Other than that, everybody just kind of forgets I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So given the opportunity to knock one of the Boy Scouts down,
Yeah.
he's
He's gonna heavy dedicate to.
yeah,
it.
he's gonna kind of really come prepared.
Mhm.
Did he die?
Perturabo?
Yeah.
No.
He's still alive?
Yeah. So actually, at the
Is he
the
missing?
siege of Terra, he's like flying there.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's getting the information that's flowing in, and he's continuing to analyze the information, he essentially looks at the fight that's going on and goes, "There's no fucking way Horus wins," and we kind of threw in with the wrong side. So I am not going in here to fuck with this.
Oh, they were chaos?
They're not. The Iron Warriors are one of the hard ones because they're not chaos, but they're not loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did side with Horus,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but they kind of get manipulated. They kind of get Fulgrim like really kind of fucks with Perturabo, but at the end, Perturabo almost kills Fulgrim, trying to stop him from ascending to demon
Yeah.
prince hood and stuff. And that when that all happens, they kill like he and his legion kill a fuck ton of Emperor's children, like a fuck ton of them. And then realize that the planet's going to be lost to this crazy warp power, but he breaks this tool that would have been this giant galactic weapon. He breaks it and takes his boys and takes off.
And no one's heard from him in 10,000 years?
They kind of show up in like little war bands here and there, but it's not
Is that-
Is
like
he
they're
in a
not
model?
only in 30K.
Oh.
Yeah, they're not chaos, but they're not loyal. They're kind of
So there's a point in the story where they could come back and meet up with the lion and Gilliman.
he could absolutely come back and be like, I fucked up. Like, I listened to the wrong people. I was kind of out on my own. Oh, he is a demon prince now. I forgot about that. Yeah, Perturabo is now a demon prince.
Oh, so he is chaos.
Uses chaos as a means to an end.
Chaos
Yeah, but he's
patron.
not. Yeah, he's not chaos in the idea of like.
He's a demon prince. He's a chaos.
Yes, but he's not chaos in the idea that like Angron or Fulgrim is, where it's like a full on like
Yeah.
dedication to
Is
this
this like
god.
what-
His is a in order to survive and not get hunted down.
What show was it on Warhammer Plus where it was Drukari versus
It's Iron Within.
Yeah, so I watched that, and that was Iron Warriors, right? So they definitely fucked up all of those fucking Astromilitarum dudes.
Yeah, so that's one of those things like they call
Mm-hmm.
on this planet that
Yeah.
they're like, we can't. And they're like, so they put out the call for help, and the Iron Warriors hear it first,
Yeah.
and they show up, and because the Iron Warriors are still one, they do not like the Eldari, like they hate Xenos anyways. They really don't like the Eldari, and the Drakari are spicy Eldari. So it's and they really don't like the Eldari because it was an Eldari planet and an Eldari weapon that turned Fulgrim into
Oh.
the Demon Prince because it was this like locus of power for one of their thought gods.
Interesting.
And so he absorbs that power, which is a warp-based power, and that's what lets him elevate.
Mm-hmm.
And that planet is essentially what broke his legion.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Eldari fault. So he really fucking has a hard on for killing Eldari.
Nice.
So we were talking about he's a demon. I forgot he became a demon prince. He's a demon prince now, but it's essentially okay, in order for me to really go kill the shit I really want to kill, I need that level of power.
Mm-hmm.
So so for him, it's a necessary evil and not I want chaos to reign. It's I needed a stronger weapon.
Move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very Perturabo. It's very like a whole, fuck it, I'll be the bad guy if I'm actually kind of doing the bigger
Yeah.
piece.
Dorn died, right?
Dorn is MIA. All they have is his fucking
Hand.
pimp hand.
The butter hand.
They got one butter hand. Which they keep, and it's fucking weird.
Is it like in a stasis chamber?
It's in a glove.
Or is it like rotting?
It's a pickle jar.
Yeah. Like the whole
It's what I like to imagine. I like to imagine it's on like like their ship in a pickle jar, just
floating.
kind of floating there.
Fucking molds down to the.
Yeah, just like I like to imagine it's just like it's that. There's some eggs in the bottom. Just pickled eggs in a hand. Little sign next to it. This is like one credit.
One credit. One imperial
There's
credit.
a servitor with some tongs.
Can I get the one on the super bottom to the right? To
Yeah.
the right.
But
To the
this is
left.
all. So this fight
one.
that's taking place that we're debating is before all of that.
Before he loses a hand, before he's a demon prince, before just
Yeah.
like so for it to be, he's saying peak heresy. You don't really want peak Heresy, but you do want like peak Crusade. Yeah, like peak Crusade is where you'd want it to happen, because that's truly like, okay, these are all the Emperor's children, in the idea that it's the Primarchs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were several times that these different Primarchs would be on planets at the same time, and they would spar and all that kind of stuff. So in this match of, hey, let's test the whole like unstoppable force versus
Yeah.
an immovable object theory, because that's very much what these two are, right? Like,
that's what I was kind of comparing in my head.
yeah. So the Iron Warriors are very much a constant squeezing pressure will crush anything, and the fists are very much the best offense is a good defense, and so they will just dig in and can build like layers and layers and layers of that defensive piece.
So now it brings a question though: if Dorn is for the fist and they build that kind of defensive, would they?
She's got to butter the knuckles, buddy.
It's like I could hear. If Dorn is for
I could
that,
hear her over there cracking. She was just like,
I could hear it too. That's why I'm
He's for the fistin'.
Would he have such a defensive stance that he'd be able to hold his own against Piotr Rabo?
Where we really see a lot of his defensive strength comes in his mental fortitude. You know, like in the stories and stuff like that, like during the Siege of Terra, because he's on Terra.
Yeah.
He goes into this, like the warp starts fucking with him, and he like gets lost in this red desert for what feels like thousands of years to him. And every day, Korn is sitting there going like, "Tell me who the blood's for," like that, and like just fucks with him, like for thousands of years, and he never breaks to the point that he actually
Corn gets bored.
No, he actually wears down his Imperial sword to like a nubbin, finally scratching through this brick wall that that surrounds it, and is able to break through. And when he steps through the other side, it's been like 4 minutes. Like it's like minutes pass, but he was stuck in this thing. And so that's what the kind of resiliency and that ability to defend is really what Dorn's known for. It's not that his fortresses have never been toppled.
Yeah.
It's just he's got that resiliency. The difference is Perturabo knows exactly where to put pressure to break anything.
That's what I was thinking too, because it's like if they're gonna fight, say they go into it, whatever, and Perturabo knows and has done his research, knows how to defeat the dude. I forgot his name already. Just
Dorn.
Thank you, Dorn. And so it would really just be a battle of wills at that point.
Yeah, and that's actually why it's kind of a cool fight. Is that it very much is a who's got the better strategy education, and the tactical prowess,
And the
But then
physical prowess.
and then but I mean the physical thing. Any of the Primarchs up against any of the Primarchs is physicality wise is almost always going to be an equal fight. Like none of them are.
Yeah.
Alfarius is smaller than a normal Primarch.
But Alfarius is also a master combatant. And usually has Xenotech on him and knows how everybody fights and stuff like that. Like none of these guys are. I mean, arguably the physically strongest one was Angron.
He's very angry.
But his brain's so fucked up that he doesn't fight with any sort of skill. It's literally just brute force. And then that's where the whole like, you can be real big, but if you go up against a trained fighter, you're kind of fucked. So
it's a David and Goliath situation.
Yeah, these two though, like physicality wise, they're very much on par with each other. But they are very much kind of two sides of the same coin. Like almost everything you need to know about Perturabo is in the Iron Warriors litany. So if you want to go read that, it's kind of cool. But it starts with the whole Iron Within, and it's this like litany that they say, and it essentially talks about how it's not about glory, and it's not about whatever. It is literally about like doing the work, and you continue to do the work until the work is perfect, and then that like you just and it's just one steady step after another, and that whole idea of like, but that iron will to keep left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left, and you just constantly add that pressure on. You will find the weakness in anything.
I see.
And so Dorn would literally have to, in my opinion, figure out how to shut Perturabo down before Perturabo was able to apply that pressure in the right point to go like, there it is.
Yep.
And you're talking about a superhuman that is processing information way faster than any of us can. He's going to find that point, and he's going to find it quick because he's going to formalize, how to do.
Yeah, he's going to hit a nerve.
I'm going to go down this list, and we're just going to go like, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there. Oh, there it is. And then he's just going to lean into that thing, and Dorn's going to have to be able to adapt fast enough before Perturabo can take it. But if he does that, then that means he's going to open a weakness somewhere else, and Perturabo's going to find that and just lean into it. So,
I think
in my opinion, I think Perturabo wins the fight.
Okay.
I can agree with that.
However, I will say Perturabo wouldn't kill him, and it would strictly be because Perturabo would go, it's a waste of an asset for me to kill you. They do that when they overthrow, like in the stories and stuff, when they overthrow fortresses.
Yeah.
They don't overthrow it by destroying it. They will figure out how to break it open.
Yeah.
Then they'll get in and they'll destroy everything on the inside, and then they take it over, fix the defenses of all the weak points that they found, and then turn that into an asset that they can then turn on their enemies. And I think that would be more the path he'd take, is he'd be like, all right, I've bested you. So now you need to sit down and listen. We have shit to do. And I think that's how that would go. So in my opinion, Peter Turbo takes it.
I could agree with that.
So.
Hell yeah, brother.
Great. Great drinking debate.
Yeah.
Butter.
So I think I did that in less than 20 minutes. Oh,
Hey!
boom! Fucking A! All right, that was a Warhammer D&D session.
Drinking
Very
debate.
learned.
There you go.
Very knowledgeable.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna keep doing these. So we're gonna need topics.
Yeah.
Topics.
So you're gonna have to leave comments and send messages and all that kind of stuff. So we have
Debate
more topics to go through. And I'm not gonna say they even all have to be Warhammer related.
No.
We're all big fans, so a lot of them will be if we're coming up with them.
Yeah.
But if you have something else for us to discuss, then I will just go ahead and say though, like, don't send something fucking stupid like, well, in this election, we're not going to talk about it. Like, don't waste your fingers. Like, just fucking, all right, go eat some butter. Be fine with it.
Yeah. Owlbear versus Jace the Mind Stealer.
Sculptor.
That's an example.
That's a different discussion.
See, like chroma conclave.
You can get your Warhammered merch over at
BattlePub.com.
in the featured section.
Featured, drop that down. A Warhammered podcast merch.
Yep.
Boom.
So you can check it over there. Anyways, Game Drinks and Hijinks. We're big fans of them around here. I'm just glad old Lehman here wasn't around to argue with it, because if he was,
He would always be right.
there it is. I'm gonna go drink with my friends.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see you guys next time. You don't with it, Caitlin.
Bye.
Not drinking anymore.